Hello, welcome to 3Spoonies. We are your hosts, Claire, Joe, and Karen. This episode is 6.5, and we will be discussing the questions from our topic of balancing business and self-care. Let's get into some questions.
The Activity Connector's mission is to inspire children, young people and adults alike to find the right activities for them through collaboration. We believe there's a sport or activity for everyone and provide services such as bringing organisations together to benefit all ages within an educational setting. If there's a particular need, we'd love to talk to you and see if we can help fill it. We're currently working with organisations around domestic abuse, county lines, mental health, first aid training and sports coaching. Do you have a hobby that makes a massive impact on you? Or are you looking for a new hobby? Why not drop us a message or take a listen to the Power of a Hobby podcast? Always looking for more guests to come on and share what they love to do. Or do you work for a charity and want to get more exposure about what you do? Or are you looking at sports events and need more support to set them up and manage them? Why not drop us a message and we can chat and see what support we can offer you? This and much, much more at theactivityconnector.com. Find all the links in the show notes.
So I'm Claire from Sparkle's Gift Boutique.
Joe of Bright Cat Business Solutions.
And I'm Karen from Pony Pony Pony.
And we are 3Spoonies navigating our way through life and business with not enough spoons. We have our fabulous guest, Amanda McKinley, back to go through some questions that Joe will be asking her. So over to you, Joe.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us again, Amanda.
Great to be here.
So our first of our community questions is from Becky. How do you make sure you have time for self-care when you're really busy?
I have actually been known to schedule it, like block it out in your diary the way you would an appointment. And that was something that was actually suggested back when I started doing the book stuff. I was at the Hay House workshop and one of the experts speaking there said, if you struggle with self-care, make an appointment with yourself. There's a lot of kind of creative and well-being people that say that, it's like kind of it's the easiest way to do it, just like book an appointment.
It's a great way of looking at it. Even then, when I've got appointments, I tend to move them, so I'd probably move that myself. But I suppose you have to be disciplined in these things.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Our second question. Are there any quick things you can do to get you back on track if you've lost everything?
You mean it lost everything in terms of like you're just feeling, yeah?
If you've sort of lost the flow, you're not taking care of yourself, everything seems to be going wrong, what would you do to get yourself back on track?
Just stop and do what, if you can find one thing that brings you joy, one thing that makes you happy, one thing is going to give you that lift, release all those happy hormones. Even if it is just grab a put a piece of music on that you love, just something that's going to give you that little boost and be the baby step onto, right, okay, what can I do next?
That's a great way of thinking of it. I mean, I have a list that shouts at me when I'm behind, but I ignore that. Yes, it is important to scheduling time for you and sort of take that breath and give yourself some space.
Yeah, I know I struggle like with the, oh my God, there's so much to do. And when it's like, what one thing do I start on? I'm like, oh, but I don't know because there's so much. But yeah, if I find one thing and go back from that, that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, fabulous. Okay, our next question is from Darcy. Is it okay to use self-care as a reward? For example, spa day?
Absolutely. I mean, I would say use self-care first. I would say it's been a reward. It's a legitimate part of the business. But if it makes it make more sense to you that, okay, if I do this, then I can have that, then fine, because it's however you explain it in your head, however it feels comfortable to you, is absolutely right. So if it's doing it as a reward works for Darcy, then yeah.
And do you use any rewards when you achieve something in business?
I think because I try and do, as I say, I try and do it first. I try and kind of factor in that time for me and looking after me, but there is the other one. Okay, well, I'll get this out of the way. Then my favourite cafe is just across the road from here. So it's like kind of, okay, I'll, finish this task and then I'll go and get a chai latte from there, or, they'll maybe, so it's like, it's maybe not necessarily like as a reward, but it's kind of almost like, okay, if it's like, again, it's the balance of, okay, I'll do this thing now that might be sucky and that I don't want to do, then I'll do something nice.
Yeah. It's all about balance.
Yeah.
I suppose it's like you don't have to do one reward. You can kind of have little mini reward things.
Yeah.
Even if it's balance and self-care throughout the month.
Definitely.
And should you do something for your self-care daily?
Yes. Absolutely. And again, it can be something as simple as going for a walk. Like, I'll walk into work and sometimes I'll use that time to listen to an audiobook or just listen to some music, or sometimes I'll do it as like a mindful walk, where and it probably sounds really cheesy, really corny, but you're kind of listening to the sounds of the birds in the park nearby and whatever, just being in the moment. So I'm not necessarily thinking about what I need to do when I get there.
You're just enjoying as you go.
Yeah.
Mm.
So awesome. It's kind of, yeah, but definitely everyone should do one thing a day. It's entirely for them.
Fabulous. That's all the questions I have. So unless you ladies have any other questions, I will pass back over to Claire.
I don't have any questions, Karen.
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything in that. I think that was, lots of things to take away and think about.
Awesome. So thank you again, Amanda, for coming back and answering questions. Do you have anything that you want to shout out about and tell our listeners, viewers about?
Nothing else. I think just challenge them to look after themselves.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It's like challenge them. If they've enjoyed listening to this and they've enjoyed listening to the previous one, then just act on it.
I like that. I like that. And we will put your link again for your book in the show notes for this one, because I know we talked on your book quite a bit last time, but it does sound like it's got some good tips and bits for people in there as well. So we'll stick that in our show notes. So thank you for joining us for 3Spoonies on episode of Balancing Business and Self-Care. We'd love to know your thoughts in the comments and any questions you have. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe to our weekly podcast and leave us a review. You can find us on social media channels, whichever is your favourite, and we'd love it if you join us in the Business Success Network for Disabled Entrepreneurs Facebook group. You can also buy us a coffee if you like what we do. We'll put all the links in the show notes. We'll see you next week for our topic of marketing and merchandise. Have a great day and keep track of your spoons.